We were desperate in our desire to transform. We believed that they lay dreams unknown. Because every path is stained with tears. We keep our fist fiercely clenched, not knowing to be a blessing or a curse, lest we lose what we hold in our hands. Blood-red moonlight blazes, unquenchable thirst flares with fury. The others look up to us in veneration, and we look upon them with envy. Why do we desire what we cannot acquire? Why must we walk alone an endless line? At dawn, the sun rises to menace and bless our fleshy selves.
Well, here we are, everybody. We are getting into the spooky season. I wanted to give you a little bit of an intro. And, yeah, we're doing Enhypen, the spooky stuff. So, this is Walk the Line, Day 1. Yes, and then I do have a song after this, so let's check it out.
With the rugged woods at our back, we greet the sun. It shines in our eyes, an azure light, dwelling in breathlessness. We walk the long, drawn-out line that cuts across the vast land, because the world carved us on that line. Footprints step to, what sky spreads at the end of it. Even if the world that unfolds is not what we are given, to the unknown we run, carving sunrise, burning bright across the world.
Very cool, very cool. I guess I should see if there's anything else. Okay, very good. Welcome to the Halloween special, officially starting everything off, like I said, with Enhypen. And yeah, we're going through the early stuff. I was looking at what is the best for Halloween. This is what it is. And, you know, I was told I think they're supposed to be vampires. And I like vampires, so let's check it out. Let's see if we can get into the proper spooky mood. It's Halloween.
Wake up and day one 첫날의 아침 조명이 비춰 태양의 눈빛 그 빛은 날 불태웠지 그 빛이 나의 눈 가렸지 뭘 할 건가 꿈을 쫓아 답인 줄 알았어 놀라 수많은 star 수많은 달 질문의 숲속을 헤매던 나 어둠 속에 저 빛을 따라왔어 가는 선 너머에 널 부르는 널 부르는 나 운명의 와사비 속에서 마주한 내 안의 경계선 Give it or take it 나의 붉은 눈빛 난 이제 세상을 뒤집어 하늘에 내 발을 내디뎌 Give it or take it 난 너에게 걸어가지 저 세계를 연결하지 난 너에게 걸어가지 신세계에 닿을 때까지 내 하얀 손 건넨 내 뒤엔 수천 개의 신내 뒤엔 수만 개 불신 너라고 나 꿈을 쫓아 잘 들어 question for life 요즘과 재치 없어 기묘의 기로에 열려진 나저 하늘을 우린 기다려왔어 가는 손 너머에 날 부르는 널 부르는 나 운명의 와사비 속에서 마주한 내 안의 경계선 나의 붉은 눈빛 난 이제 세상을 뒤집어 하늘에 내 발을 내디뎌 Rap rap 정갈에 흐르는 빛 Rap rap 올라만 내 손끝은 붉은 빛에 물들어만 가 Gotta go 운명의 와사비 속에서 마주한 내 안의 경계선 나의 붉은 눈빛 난 이제 세상을 뒤집어 하늘에 내 발을 내디뎌 Give it or take it 난 너에게 걸어가지 저 세계를 연결하지 난 너에게 걸어가지 신세계에 닿을 때까지 내 하얀 손 건넨
Dun dun dun. Very cool. You know, I've kind of always been attracted to like the vampire stuff. When I was growing up, and even still to this day, like it's still really high up there, but really into Castlevania. I remember doing like Symphony of the Night, and I remember doing all the ones on the Game Boy Advanced. I'm showing my age here. Then obviously a lot of the stuff that I remember as a kid. I remember back in the day back in the day when there was Blockbuster, and I remember I kept trying to sneak into the horror section, and I remember specifically this. It turned out to be the Gary Oldman Dracula, but I wanted to watch it so bad. It was so cool. It had like the this kind of wall or partition, and it had like a gargoyle sticking off of it, and then when you turned it over, there's just like this like face that was going like on the front, and I was just already immediately drawn to that because ever since I was a kid I was into this stuff, so I was very into this stuff early on. And then obviously like we got a lot of kind of creepier stuff as I went on, and I remember even like Metal Gear Solid had some creepy elements to it, and that was really big for me. And I remember every single year I tried to be the scariest Halloween costume and house that I could. It's just it was all part of it. And so it's kind of fun to see this because like I remember going through, obviously there's been a lot of famous vampires, Dracula, you know, the ones from Anne Rice. I went through those old novels as well. And yes, the person that I was dating in high school was into Twilight, so I'd already also gone through Twilight as well. And I don't know why. There's just an appeal to it. It's almost like the elves from Lord of the Rings to me, almost. So it's kind of an interesting way to see this new modern version that we see going on here. And actually, I kind of really like how they ended this. I think that this is really quite cool. Very good. No, I love this time of the year, and honestly, this song is pretty cool. It's kind of interesting because right, it goes like BTS, TXT, and Enhypen all kind of being the same family and all this stuff, and it's kind of interesting how I feel like that each of them have their own special abilities, but they always have really good highs. Their ability to have the highs is, I think, always a must be something that the company itself must focus on, because I think that they have always just had good vocalists that can hit those highs. But one last point of things that I really like, obviously, we're going to be focusing more on the creepy stuff. Now, for me personally, I actually always am the kind of person that prefers a well-dressed vampire. I make no qualms in saying that my favorite Dracula is, and I watch it very, very often, which is the one with Bela Lugosi. I don't know why. I actually prefer most of the time Golden Age horror, and so this, to me, fits perfectly in there. Well-dressed, handsome people. Absolutely just crushing the whole feel. This is actually a lot more classically vampiric in, like, I'd say in novel form than I think maybe, you know, they even let on. But this is very good. This is very good. I like the feel behind it. And, you know, as somebody who pretty much has lived Halloween for 35 years of his life, I pay attention to lots of spooky stuff, and there is a certain level of grace that kind of needs to come from this particular, with a portrayal of a vampire, I believe. And I think that they do a good job. And, you know, again, I actually really think that this song is quite good. The driving force, there's just a kind of that consistent beat throughout. It's almost kind of like a heartbeat, right? That added in harp at the kind of the bottom part of the mix is a really nice touch. It's still, this is the thing that I love You know, I think that a lot of people just immediately think of like gross, creepy, gooey, like bloody Halloween. For me personally, I prefer it's a lot like this. I prefer a lot of Halloween like this. It's a dark, mysterious, creepy, but yet beautiful kind of vampire. Like, you listen to this and you got that nice bass line running. You got the harp at the bottom of the mix, and then you also got just the energy of the song, and their vocals working together is really cool.
꿈을 쫓아 잘 들어 question for life 요즘과 지치는 사이 기묘의 기로이 여겨지나 저 하늘을 우린 기다려왔어 그러는 손 너머 날 부르는 너널 부르는 나
It's the fine details that I really like about this. You know, the cracking of the glass, the color palette changes of like that this is very blue, and then obviously like when they're doing the throwbacks here, it's kind of that sepia tone, and they use that to kind of separate the time periods, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I don't know. This is really cool. Great way to start Halloween. Okay, I might need to pay attention a little bit more to Enhypen too. Let's be real here. Anyway, thank you all so much. We'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.